Welcome to this episode of Healthy and Happy. I am Waveney Martin-Burrow, and our topic is Get Lasting Weight Control. You can do it. Our presenter, Dr. George Guthrie.
Nicholas Vujicic was born to Australian parents. He came without arms and without legs. But he finished college, got married, has 2 children, and is a great motivational speaker. His bestseller, entitled Life Without Limbs, has been translated into 30 different languages. You know, Doc, Nick tells us that we can overcome any challenge.
That's amazing.
And today, one of our biggest challenges is weight control.
Mm-hmm.
We are told that 2 out of every 3 Americans are overweight. 1 out of every 3 is obese. And there are many who have tried this and tried that and have given up. They've failed. But Nick has assured us that every challenge can be overcome.
Mm-hmm.
So can you give us the magic formula for weight control?
Well, the magic formula doesn't take an Einstein to figure out. We measure energy in and energy out by looking at calories. So our weight tends to go up when we have more calories in than we use up. So if we decrease the calories that we are taking in and increase the calories that we're burning, the weight will come down.
Okay. So we're talking of increasing and decreasing.
Okay.
So key number 1 sounds like it has to do with controlling the number of calories that I take in. Tell us
a little more about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, controlling calories is a little bit problem. You could starve yourself, but generally people don't tolerate that very well. So it makes sense to eat foods that are lower in calories and high in nutritional density. And those end up being, believe it or not, the fruits and vegetables and whole grains. Their caloric density is less, so you can eat more, fill yourself up without getting so many calories. So that's probably the first and most important, but we could add other to that. For example, one can eat smaller servings. You know, just a smaller plate, believe it or not, can actually make a difference in how much we eat. If the small plate is full, we sense that we've eaten more than if it was the same food was on a larger plate. Another thing we could do is avoid empty calories. Have you heard this term?
Yes. Tell us more about
empty calories. Means calories without a lot of nutrients with them. It's, in essence, highly refined foods. So, like...
For example?
Well, do-nots. I think do-nots are named that way for a reason, right? I mean, it's highly refined flour with a lot of nutrients taken out. We have to put kind of nutrients back into the refined flour, a lot of sugar, a lot of fat, and those are concentrated calories that go down quickly. Another kind of corollary to that is avoid fast foods. The stuff that you generally pick up at the fast food stores will tend to be very high in fat and grease, and it's made to kind of get a lot of calories in quickly. Now, one of my favorite things to talk about is when you eat, which is a little more, let's say, complicated or a little different. If you are eating a bunch of calories just before you go to bed, your body is more likely to put them into storage. If you eat them at the beginning of the day, they're more likely to be burned. I like to put it this way. If you were flying from here to Honolulu, would you rather they put the fuel in the plane here or after you get to Honolulu? There's sense to taking it at the early part of the day, and indeed that works better. Another thing I suppose we could think about is the liquids, because liquids can really fool us. When we take sweet, sugary drinks, whether it's fruit juice or sodas, we tend to put in a lot of calories quickly. And if you really want to make it bad, put alcohol with that, because alcohol has calories in it. The liquid part has calories. At least in our fruit juices, there's no calories in the water part. So alcohol can really turn that up. It'd be much better to drink water.
Okay. So that's the first part of the formula. Tell us about the second part, the burn up
So
part.
we need to burn it up by the calories by being active. Being active, especially people who are overweight, they're a little afraid of that. And it's very common for people to exercise a little too hard at first and actually hurt themselves. So a moderate exercise, start slow and then slowly kind of build up as you get used to it. You know, if you exercise really hard, there's a buildup of lactic acid in the muscles and in the blood, and it decreases something in the brain called endorphins. Have you heard of these?
Yes.
I like to call them
The feel-good.
They're the feel-good hormone, that's right. I like to call them outdorphins because I think you get even better when you go outdoors to get this exercise, okay? So when you exercise too hard, it decreases this pleasant hormone in your brain, and so you don't want to do it again. So moderate amounts of exercise done on a daily basis, maybe 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, I think would be a good minimum, at least 5 days a week. And as we do this, we begin to increase our muscle mass. Now it's interesting, when your muscle mass gets bigger, even when you're sleeping at night, your body is burning more calories. It's increasing what we call the basal metabolic rate.
Wow. Well, those are great tips. You know, Nick tells us that what seems impossible can be done.
Yes, yes.
He uses thumbs to operate his wheelchair and his computer and his mobile phone. And if he could do it, then we could do it too.
That's right. And you know, he didn't learn that quickly. He had to work on those skills bit by bit. A lot of people, when they lose weight, want to lose it quickly. They have a crash diet, and the weight goes down, and then they gain it back up, and then they lose it, and then they gain it. I call that the rhythm method of girth control.
Okay, we have time to just one more point.
Okay.
Can we get any help from God on this?
You know, I think God is the best place to find the source of that love. He certainly demonstrated that on Calvary. And when we think about that and read about His care for us as individuals, it can be a powerful force to overcome food addiction.
Thank you so much.
These are excellent strategies. Be sure to view part 2 of this episode.